Foids have actually lost the plot. With the trial of Lindsay Clancy currently happening, I thought it would be a good idea to make a video showing just how insane women have become. But I really did not expect it to be this egregious. This woman, like a lot of others, is claiming to be driven like crazy from the case. And it just leads me to wonder, are they going crazy because she did it and the evidence is coming out proving all of these batshit crazy conspiracy theories false? Or are they just acting like they're in a loony bin for positive female attention and affirmations? Also, as somebody who's been in a psychiatric facility before, there's zero chance this girl has ever seen anybody who's actually mentally unwell to the point of being needed to be bound by literal bands. And I might just be being ignorant here, but does it not look like she was like tied up with fitness bands and clips? Like I don't really know what that is, but I know she doesn't need it. And then there's the classic political commentator joins in on something that has nothing to do with them, and it's Candace Owens. You might remember her from when Charlie Kirk passed away. She made a ton of videos milking his death and claimed that he was a time traveler from the future.
Why did Charlie think he was a time traveler? He said, as I showed you in earlier messages, that he was a time traveler and he had to find me. I tell you, I read these messages and I'm going, what is this? What is reality, actually?
I mean, to give her credit, if I was thinking that my best friend who passed away was a time traveler, then I would probably be questioning reality too. And for good reason. Because I don't think I would be mentally well if I thought that messages that are clearly in context a joke are being serious about literal time travel from the future. See, my theory is that Charlie Kirk, George Droid, and Benjamin Netanyahu actually came back from the future to warn Candace Owens about the Jewish Messiah being a false Messiah and actually being the Antichrist. Anyways, Candace Owens is saying that Lindsay Clancy is not guilty and she shouldn't be held responsible because of Big Pharma.
She was arrested the moment that it made the news. Lindsay Clancy is obviously not guilty. There are a fleet of doctors who should be imprisoned for what they put her on. I regularly speak out against Big Pharma. They get away with murder all the time. And in this case, they are getting away with the murder of really her 3 children, but also completely destroyed her life.
I mean, I'll give credit where credit's due. There is definitely like some kind of responsibility that Big Pharma should be held to for the crazy amounts of cases of murder and things like that off of side effects of SSRIs and like sexual dysfunction from SSRIs and things like that. But I don't think that you can just say that Lindsay Clancy should be not held responsible because of the medicine she was on. And the main reason why I think this is because of how the case panned out from what we know of what happened. Because according to, what I've seen, and I might be wrong about this, you guys can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but she had him go to CVS to pick things up for her. And while he was gone, she murdered the children. This means she thought out, I'm going to kill these children and I'm going to get the husband to not be home to be able to stop me. So she thought about it, planned it out, and did it. That's not a spur of the moment, oh, I'm on medicine, I'm not of sound judgment. That's like she planned it out. And that's the primary difference between second-degree murder or manslaughter. Because if she was, under the influence and killed them and it was a unavoidable event, which I don't believe there is such thing, it would be called manslaughter. But it's first-degree murder because she planned it out. I mean, imagine if it was a man, dude. A man gets high on the pills that he's prescribed. And I'm not saying that she got high. I'm just saying that, like, whatever she was taking, she was probably taking too much if it caused her to kill her children. But imagine a man does this exact thing. He tells his wife to go to CVS to pick up some groceries or things that he needs, and then while she's gone, he strangles all 3 of their children, 1 5, 1 3, 1 8 months old, and then tries to kill himself, and the woman comes home and sees it. This would be completely different. Men would not be defending this bullshit like women are right now. And speaking of a man doing this exact thing, feminists all over TikTok are acting as if the husband is the only one who could have done it. And do you know why? It's because of his astrology sign. Because he is a Gemini and she is a Leo.
And what is your date of birth?
June 15th, 1988.
He did it. Patrick Clancy did it, and you will never convince me otherwise. This is his partial birth chart. I do not have his birth time.
Yes, because I'm sure his time of birth is really going to affect this case.
So I cannot say what his rising sign is or what the houses are. I also can't really say what degree his moon sign is at. However,
What the actual fuzzle knock am I looking at right now? It genuinely amazes me that women like this take hours out of their day to read these charts, but they don't take the exact same time to actually research the case. It's like the second they see any kind of conflict between a woman and a man, where the majority of people are looking at the woman as being at fault, they go to the man and they say, when was he born? What's his sign? What was the moon doing when he was born? And what does any of that have to do with the case? Even if you do believe in astrology, what does that have to do about these specific set of events? Isn't astrology meant to predict what people are going to do in the future? I don't think astrology is meant to be used to look back at a past case and judge the outcome of that case based on when somebody was born. Mind you, this girl goes on for 17 minutes about this shit. And if you read the comments on this one, the majority of the people are with common sense, with a few women who are insane people. One comment really stuck out to me because women online have been saying since this case started that she isn't guilty because Leos don't kill, but Geminis do. And the reason this comment really stuck out to me is that it says King Von was a Leo. And to be honest, I think I would rather have King Von babysitting my children than Lindsay Clancy. Hey, I mean, love him or hate him, he did not shoot any children. I mean, if these women want to use star signs for historical events, then, just go ahead and say Benito Mussolini was a great guy and didn't do anything wrong. I mean, talk about Fidel Castro's Cuba and how it was such a paradise, such a great place to live in, because both of those guys are Leos. And if you go looking, you can find more videos of people that are using astrology breakdowns to try and say that she didn't do it and that he did. But what I'm about to show you is arguably even worse. This woman is claiming to be a psychic that has remote viewed to see that the father is the one that did it. And before I even let this clip play out, I just want to say that women that wear this amount of makeup are honestly just disgusting to me. To me, it doesn't look good. I'm sure other men would disagree, but even if it does look good to you, you have to admit this is just vain. It completely covers your natural look to where you don't even look like the same person anymore. Like, if there's any ladies watching this, I just want you guys to imagine if a guy came up to you and he was wearing a Leonardo DiCaprio mask and a muscle suit that was very, very realistic that you could not tell the difference between, all right? And then one day you FaceTime him just to talk to him, and he answers the phone and he looks like Nova Online. You're like, who is this person? Like, I just feel bad for whoever her boyfriend is because, like, he sees her as this person, and then, like, eventually he's going to see her without the makeup, and he's going to be like, dude, who is this? Who am I looking at?
It's your spiritual bestie, Conscious Cal. I am a psychic medium if you don't know me, so I have taken a look at the Lindsay and Patrick Clancy case. So I did not look at any of the imagery.
So she's just flat out admitting here that she didn't do her due diligence and look at all of the facts, and that she's just going off of audio testimonies and things like that to do her psychic viewing.
I did listen to some of the testimonies. I listened to them, and that is how I get my downloads and my visions so that I can see or remote view. I guess some of you would call it remote viewing. Remote view the events of what happened, and I'm just gonna say the husband, he does not want me to talk about this.
Look at the smirk on her face when she drops the lip gloss. Like, it's so obvious that she just dropped this on purpose so that she could say that the husband really doesn't want her to talk about this on her makeup drama TikTok. As if her and the husband are somehow having some sort of psychic dual superpower battle over her making the video calling him guilty.
The husband 110% did it. The first thing that I see is he was planning this, I want to say 3 to 4 months prior to him actually going through with his actions.
She keeps doing this exact thing for about 10 minutes. And if you notice, what she's doing is she's closing her eyes and thinking real hard and then imagining something, or maybe she's just making it up and she's slandering this guy. I don't know if she's like mentally ill or she's pretending, but she seems to actually believe that she has psychic powers that she can tap into by closing her eyes and thinking really, really hard. I promise you, if we could have psychic powers by just thinking really, really hard, I would have done a lot better in high school than I did. And if you look at the comments, almost all of them are crazy Foids agreeing with her. I mean, look at this shit, dude. They're claiming to be able to see the tormented souls of the murdered children like it's Five Nights at Freddy's or some shit. And it's so incredibly disrespectful to bring the child victims into this massive, insane game of pretending to be a psychic just so that you can pin the blame on a man, because no woman would ever kill her children. Even though statistically, mothers are more likely to kill their children than men are. You may think I'm some kind of like incel misogynist loser for saying that Foids have lost the plot while only showing a very few women that are batshit crazy. And I'll be honest, I've seen a lot of women in the Christian spaces calling these feminists out as insane women that make all women look bad. And I just want to use this time to say that this video is not targeted at all women. It's targeted at what I call Foids, which are crazy and insane women. And if you've made it this far in the video, please do not harass any of the people that are pictured in this video. It looks bad on everybody if you do that. But with that being said, look at this bullshit right here. I know these women are holding up like heart hands in protest, but it honestly kind of looks like, ironically, that they're holding up hands like strangling somebody way taller than them. All of these women are here to support Lindsay Clancy in the trial, and you can literally hear little infant babies talking in the background of this video. I want you guys to think about this for a minute. A woman strangles and murders her 3 children, right? And that makes a mob of people come to the courthouse, not for the reason you'd expect, not against her, but in protest, in support of her. And then they bring their children to the protest to support this child murderer. These children are being exposed very readily to the idea that their mothers could murder them and it would be perfectly fine as long as they were mentally ill. That must be so very scary to think about as a child that young. And you might be thinking, well, it's just these women that showed up to support her that are crazy. And to that I say, no, you're actually wrong. They raised $1 million. They raised $1 million for the defense of a woman who murdered her 3 children in cold blood and then tried to kill herself because he's a Gemini and she's a Leo, and because women on the internet claiming to be psychic are saying that the husband did it. This whole situation is just fucked beyond belief, and I wanted to get on here and talk about it. Bye.